And so when you open the door to the reality of who you are, and each and every one of you have done that, or you would not be here. This is not an accident. Then it's over a period of years usually, though it can be instantaneously. That's not the easy way to go, though, however. And it allows through glimpses, and then there's a certain moment that you're taken. And what you are totally permeates the totality of your being. And it's what you've always wanted. And it's why you're here, in this incarnation. So it's good to kind of have a sense. Because often it's so overwhelmed by good intentions, which is, good practices, good ways of living, and liberating all the patterns that obscure this radiance. And that's part of the work, and it does take work. It takes tremendous courage, and it takes tremendous attention. But it's a freedom and a wholeness and a benefit for you and all beings that it can't be imagined. So it's worth it all. Let's just feel that sense of dropping. And what I mean by that, maybe that's not a very good word or description. There's a kind of like you feel your tailbone actually in the seat of your chair or your cushion. You actually feel the tailbone make contact, conscious contact with the cushion. And actually feel the tailbone extending just a little bit into the cushion. And the boundary or the, outline of the cushion, it comes up into the tailbone. And that's the actuality. We think there's these really strong definitions, and body ends here and cushion is here, but the actuality, it's all like space and moving molecules and stars that open up and burn out, and it's all very fluid, very changeable. It's all change, actually. And so you just get that sense of that being held and supported. Because, the cushion, it offers the seat, it offers the back for the, you to relax and to let go in. And that's sort of the pointer, is just let go, relax, open up, soften. Bring the attention out of the head. And just like an elevator shaft, the spine, just bring the attention into the center of the spine and just move it down through the system. You can call it the chakra systems, and you can call it, different meridians, or the sushumna, there's all sorts of definitions, but it's this intimacy. It's the intimacy of your attention coming inside of the central channel, the spine, and that's the first emanation of life that comes in and creates and recreates the body continuously. So it's very intimate. And that is a very vital recognition. It's not me over here and God over here, or me over here and, enlightenment over there, and these practices and that practices. It's something you do to become, to receive. And the actuality is it's just touching what is already here. What you already actually are. And then that sort of longing and desire and looking and wanting more or wanting less, whatever form that takes, it just all comes back to the home ground. It just relaxes. It's like a child that's crying and crying and crying and wants something so much that it can't stop crying. And then it's given what it's always wanted, which is support and at home and at ease and content, whole, enough. Here I am. And again, the breathing in, that life force that's always available, that support, that insight, that brilliance, and then dropping it into the spine on the exhale and just going down and down and down and down until, and it's different for everyone, there's a sense of resting. For those, it's the datium, it's that is below the umbilicus. For others, it's, the pelvic bowl. For others, it's the tailbone, the sacrum. For others, it's a bit below the body. It so includes the totality of the body. And so it's a bit below. So rather than try to figure it out, just let it guide. Give over the control and figuring it out and making something happen. And then there's that sense of a resting, abiding, being supported, something coming up and meeting and supporting. It's like a palm, and it's being held in the palm of God, the palm of the Spirit, the palm of the Holy Being. And this body is not separate from that, it's made from that. It's created from that. It's guided from that. It's supported from that. It's directed from and as that. And then just sense, perhaps it's thoughts. There's an arising, abiding, meaning it presents itself in a thought or an image. And then if you are very present, it then dissolves and it goes right back to the home ground. And so just sense, it arises. There's kind of an abiding, and then it dissolves. And there's an arising, kind of a fruiting, kind of a imaging, and then it dissolves. So the way that one can be awake to this is it can't be a constricted attention. That's the separate sense of self, is that contraction. It's more of a spacious inclusion. So there's enough space for the thoughts to be there. You're not going to cut off the thoughts. If you do, then as soon as it has an opportunity, the thoughts will happen again. So it isn't like constricting or at war with the thoughts. It's just giving the thoughts enough space that they can do what they're doing anyway. They arise, they present, and then they dissolve. So just get a sense of that, just the ease of that, the acceptance of that, the okayness with that. And when those thoughts are grabbed and you take a little ride on the thoughts, then just see that. Oh, there's a contraction, and then there's a little ride on the thoughts, takes it a little ways, and then it goes, oop, Okay, come back. And then that thought dissolves. And then maybe another thought and another thought. It's okay. It's what the mind does. It isn't wrong. It does settle down, and you'll notice day by day by day that it's quieter and quieter and quieter. But right now, whatever it's doing, it's just arising, presenting, and dissolving. That's all it's doing. And there's nothing more to it. Now, just for a moment, what would it be like if there was a spacious, open quality, again, much like the sky? That's a beautiful metaphor, because the sky is always there, it's always present, whether it's the blue sky, the day, or whether it's the night sky. And different, experiences lies within the sky. But it isn't the sky goes away and comes back out and changes, or it's always present. It's a constancy. There's a beautiful description called the sky mind. And it's to have enough space in the mind that then thoughts are seen for what they are, and they are used for the benefit of all beings, rather than self-hate and criticism and projection and opinions. That's not a skillful use of mind, but it's, unconscious and habitual. So sense a spaciousness actually in the interior of the skull and all around the skull. Back, front, sides. And then just let it fill this room and beyond, and beyond, and beyond. So as the arising of thoughts happen, or sensation, emotion, maybe irritation, maybe lack of patience, maybe drifting off, dreaming, whatever, all is fine. It's just the arising. And just subtly call it back into this deep, still, home ground. Just call it back. Just let it relax and dissolve. As the thoughts or sensations arise and they form into an image, a reaction that's conscious, in whatever form that it's forming, then again, just call that back. Call it back into that sense of ground, that sense of stillness, that sense of fundamental ground, primordial, the womb. And even the movement of coming back and dissolving, let that also just be taken by that resolves and dissolves everything without exception. It brings it to the front, into the back. That may not make sense, but it's the truth. We identify with what's in front, and you bring it back into the center of the belly, the center of the pelvis, and let it rest. All just simply let it rest. and dissolve at home. And then like a still lake, like you see in the mountains, they're just absolutely unbelievably still when they are. And just drop in it like a stone, an image, a feeling, like a photograph of yourself at a certain age as a child. And if nothing comes up, just bring whatever currently is causing the most distress in your life. And not the whole story, just a symbol, an image, one word. Whatever keeps arising over and over in your life, whether it's relationship, whether it's work, whether it's maybe a physical issue, a criticism that comes up. It's like a theme. So that small stone that you throw into this clear lake can be just like a theme that over and over and over in your life. And just drop it into that clear, open, spacious, still being. And just ask in this most genuine and loving way, how can I enter and understand, not from the mind, but to recognize what it is? What voice does it have? What is it attempting to come back home over and over and over and over? The gift of incarnation is to resolve what has not been resolved. So what is that? I'm willing, I'm here, I'm listening. And the I is not so much the persona. The I is the silent I. The I is love. The I is consciousness. The I is the fire of transformation. I'm here. I'm holding. I'm touching. I'm permeating. I'm loving what is. Whatever it is, insight, an emotion, a voice that's never been allowed, a deep memory, a karmic memory. I'm here. I'm in totality. I'm in full acceptance. And then something will arise. If not in this moment, maybe you're walking to lunch, maybe you're laying down for your nap, maybe in a meditation. It can be in this moment, but it's not a failure or a success. It's the inviting, it's the inclusion, it's the embracing, calling it back home. Just as the arising, the birthing, and the dissolving all comes back to the home ground. And from there, everything exists. Liberation is one of the main functionings of your life. You know, we keep thinking it's a successful life and a good job and wonderful relationship, and I know all that's part of the dance. But this resolution, this bringing the unconscious to the conscious, this transformation. And so you're given role after role after role to present that possibility of seeing and entering and then dissolving and letting go of that particular pattern. No matter how many lovers and relationships, the same pattern happens. No matter how many bosses and great jobs, the same result happens. No matter how long we work with this or do that, the same result happens. What is that? That's the dance. And we get the perfect dance partners over and over and over. What is that? The freedom. And when it's seen, when it's open to, when it's touched, and then it dissolves, it's over. That dance no longer is required. So just for a few moments, just be. If nothing's happening, great. As you so ask, so shall you receive. It simply will be given. Maybe in a dream, a quick and sudden insight. Uncontrolled emotion flowing up. Doesn't matter. You've evoked it, and it will reveal itself. It's a loving experience, life. It's full of guidance and revealing and insights and delight and on the knees in awe. You're just entering into it rather than the dream that plays itself out in front of the eyes, inside of the head. That's the dream. The reality is this sky mind, sky heart, sky ground, sky, right? It's open and spacious and alive and intelligent, alert. And imbued with the transformative fire of resolution. So the rest of the day, just, short and frequent moments. Come back.